we finally made it to where we're supposed to get on our flight, and we got here, we left at 8 o'clock from my aunt's house, and then we made good time. It was just, no one knows what's happening or what gate or where to check in for international. So we kind of did the runaround for a while, and then we couldn't get checked in properly, and it was a little bit of a mess, but luckily we got here early. And then, so now we're just waiting. So right now it's 11:30 and our flight doesn't leave until 1:55. So yeah, and we have a different flight number than what we have on our documentation. So it's been already interesting, but ready to go. And I only got,
for those guests traveling on country flight 426 to Minneapolis, we're welcoming any guests.
Yeah, and then I only got 3 hours of sleep last night, so it actually works out, so I can sleep, hopefully get a couple of hours of sleep on the plane, and then that way we're like good to go, because it's gonna be like morning time up there once we get there. So that's where we're at now. Our first workout here in the Netherlands, and as soon as we got settled, we had a crazy time. First, we landed we landed early, but it took us forever to go through passport process and getting our luggage and then getting a taxi, and then we ended up going to the wrong hotel because the travel agent didn't put all of the hotels for our tour were on one list, and then we had one hotel that we had to have for today because we came in a day early. So then we had to get back into another car, go 20 minutes east of our hotel that we'll be at tomorrow night, and that. So anyways, we're rolling with it because we're like, we're not in a rush, we don't have anything pressing today. And so yeah, so I am staying true to the plan. I am working out. I did eat on the plane. I had, what did we have on the plane? I had my first sugar in like 2 months, which is like a brownie, and then like this Dutch cookie. That was pretty good. And then for breakfast this morning, we had fruit. Then we had Greek yogurt. I didn't eat it. And like these little Dutch pancakes that were really good. And then for lunch that they served us after we left LAX, we had like, it was like chicken with like marinara sauce, and it had like rice and like spinach. It was actually pretty good. And I wasn't gonna eat the rice, but I ended up just eating it anyway. And I felt fine after eating that, but it was after I had like the sugar that I didn't feel good. And then, so anyway, there's a couple things, and we had dinner or lunch yesterday, or breakfast, and then I ended up getting like this like egg scramble with no cheese, and that was okay. And it tasted like they put like soy sauce in it. It was really weird. But I ate half of that and a couple of potatoes. And yeah, I didn't eat too much before I was full. I'm a little concerned because I don't have my scale with me, but we'll just kind of have to wait and see what happens. My goal is that I don't put on a bunch of weight, because my weight has actually been coming down really nicely. So anyways, that's kind of where I'm at now. So I have mosquito bites. If you see right here, this big red mark is one of my mosquito bites that's out of control. And luckily my aunt had some like anti-itch cream, because I was like, I need something so I can survive on the plane for 10 hours. So that was like literally like every hour I was putting some of that on, and I finally broke down and I took Benadryl. So I'm still working out. I'm on Benadryl, and we're gonna see if that will take the itching down a little bit. But as you can see, it is bad. It is really bad. So anyway, so that's the plan. And then they also have a sauna here. I just went and I kind of freshened up just a tiny bit, and then I'm gonna go work out, do a little quick workout. My legs and my ankles look a little swollen to me, and I tried as much as I could to get up and move around on the plane, but like every seat was filled on that flight. So I moved around a little bit, but ankles still look a little puffy to me. So I did drink a lot of water. So if there's one tip that I would recommend, is if they give you water on the plane, drink it and ask for more. I got water. I brought my empty water bottle with me and filled it up before we got on the plane. And then as soon as we got on, they gave us like a really generous sized bottle of water. And I drank most of that. And then like a couple hours later, they came and gave us more. And then I asked for a cup of water, and I just kept drinking water, and I still feel really dry and dehydrated. But anyway, that's like a really big tip, is just drink as much water as you can and try to limit as much salt. So yeah, so after eating all of that stuff on the plane, I have been super gassy, which does not feel good. And also I think because I wasn't walking around, it just all kind of built up in my stomach. And so I'm really bloating right now, which I don't like. So I'm gonna have to make some adjustments tomorrow. We'll have breakfast at the hotel, but at least I'll have a little bit more control because I can actually choose like what I can eat. Like eat a little bit more, and we're not in a rush. And we'll have dinner tonight at the hotel, and I'll get something lean because I just feel better when I eat lean and I don't feel heavy. So anyway, that's my check-in for now. And then after I'm done with this, I'm gonna go rinse off, and then I'm gonna go locate the sauna and go to sit in the sauna so I can get out any of the sick germs from people that were on the plane, and so I can just stay healthy. So day one, finishing up in the sauna so I can detox of all of those yucky airplane germs and bad eating. So we ended up going and having dinner. I had chicken, potatoes, and a salad for dinner, and then we went out afterwards. Oh, and then we had a vegan chocolate cake and lemon sorbet. That's like my first taste of sugar in a long time. My body has not responded well to it. It just immediately wanted to get rid of it. And then afterwards we went and got like drinks. So I ended up getting a mocktail, and then we ended up sharing like a basket of tempura shrimp. And again, my body just wanted to get rid of it. So body did not respond well to that at all. So I'm gonna go sit in the sauna for a few minutes, and then I think I'm gonna go for a walk because it's still sunny. The sun is up until 8:30 here because they're further north than we are normally. So I'm gonna do that. And then I'm probably gonna go back downstairs and do some editing of video. So I'm here at our first hotel. It is, I think it's like 11 o'clock here, and I look like hell, but that's okay. I am super tired, but I'm trying to stay up at least for like another hour, hour and a half, so I can get my body on this time zone. So I took a couple of cat naps today, and just like very brief. I took like a really hard 45-minute nap, and I like was so tired. I like almost fell asleep in the sauna. It was like crazy, but luckily I woke up, got out of there, rinsed off, and then I decided I was gonna go on for like a little walk. I just like walked down the street a little bit. It was after dark, so like there wasn't really much to see, but there was a lot of people out, so I felt like, yeah, let's just go explore, and I'll do a little bit more tomorrow. But it's really pretty. I'm really kind of bummed out that we're only staying here one night because the hotel's like right on the water, and it's just really pretty. And we have this big, giant, beautiful cruise ship that's like right next to the hotel, which is kind of cool to look at. So yeah, that's what's going on here. I'm just, you know, it comes in waves. I'm just like a little tired, but I'm like, no, I'm gonna do something. So considering grabbing like a little snack or something and then heading to bed, and then we're gonna wake up at 7 o'clock. And for my aunt and my uncle, they typically get up at like 4:45 every morning. That's like really sleeping in. So we'll see if they actually hold true to them saying, my aunt saying that we're gonna be getting up at 7 o'clock and then heading down to breakfast around 8 or 8:30. So yeah, lots up in the air tomorrow because we have the full day basically to do absolutely nothing, and then we're having dinner at our tour with our tour group at 6 o'clock tomorrow night. And so we have to move hotels, get checked in, and after that then kind of figure out what we're going to do the rest of the night. So I'm going to look into seeing if we can like get a driver to drive us around town or to find something to do here locally. So I'm going to connect with the concierge or see what else they have, and so at least we can pass by the day because I don't want to be sitting at the hotel all day being bored. And so like my aunt and my uncle, they go to sleep really early. So I said, you know what, I'm going to go downstairs, I'm going to go for a walk, I'm going to go meet some people. And I ended up meeting two older gentlemen from Australia in the elevator. we all just keep running into each other. And so, you know, they were telling me about like their trip, and they thought, one of them thought I had like an English accent. I was like, no, this is California accent. So anyway, no, but yeah, that part's cool. It's just meeting people from like all over the world and hearing all the different dialects and languages. It's just kind of cool. So yeah, hopefully I'm gonna get some sleep tonight. I only slept probably like 2.5, 3 hours on Wednesday night. Woke up at 5:30, and then we were out of the house. Our driver came early at like 7:45, so we left early. And then just a couple of like kind of fall asleep moments where I kind of doze off for like a few minutes, and then I like woke up startled on a plane, or we felt turbulence, and so I woke up. But yeah, so it was kind of like on and off, on and off. But I did watch a lot of movies. I watched The Wedding Singer, which I haven't watched in a really long time. I forgot how great that movie is. Just classic. And I watched one of my favorite movies, Beethoven. So that was like my first thing I watched, and it was perfect because it took my mind off of like anxiety and stuff. And then I ended up watching, if you haven't seen, a movie called A Man Named Otto, which has Tom Hanks in it. And I watched it just because it was Tom Hanks, but it's such a good movie. So good that you should watch it. It's funny, it's humorous, it's also like really touching. And yeah, so I watched a ton of movies, a couple of like documentaries, and I tried to get some sleep, but it didn't work. And then I got here, you know, like I mentioned, I took like a 45-minute nap, and then like we were like, let's go. So yeah, in the morning we felt pretty good because you know, they fed us and on the plane, and so whenever I'm full and not thirsty, I'm happy. So anyway, that's my login. This is day one. It's been crazy. Definitely not super organized, but you know, I guess that's just kind of the first day. It's just, you're just trying to get your bearings, and you know, you can't blame anybody for that. So yeah, I'll check in tomorrow on day 2. Morning, day 2, waking up in Amsterdam at the Movenpick Hotel, and we were waking up at 7:30 because we were out like lights, and I forgot to set my alarm. So we're gonna get washed up, get ready for breakfast, and then we're gonna get ready to figure out what we're gonna do today, or at least the next couple of hours before we have to move hotels. It's cloudy, a little overcast right now, but I'm sure it's gonna be a beautiful day. Quick check-in on my vacation. We are here at one of their castles, and I know I'm gonna butcher the name. I think it's called like Castle Mitre something. I'll put it in the description, so if you wanted to visit the castle while you visit Amsterdam, that's cool. But yeah, it's a beautiful day today, and I did the hike up to the Knight's Tower, and it's 84 steps. Did that, went around to all the rooms, and then yeah, so it was pretty fun. But it is a beautiful castle. We're supposed to grab a quick drink, head back to the hotel, and then we're gonna have dinner later on. But I just happened to be walking around by myself out here, and there was these guys from England, and they were walking, I can't remember if they're in front of me or behind me, and you know, we're a big tourist group from the US, okay? So everybody in there, like we all know, like everybody knows Americans. And one of the things we were saying was like, for these Americans, you know, how big can it get? And I just thought that was super, well, number one, super offensive, but actually it's really truthful, because honestly, like, we're the most obese country in the world. We don't take care of ourselves. We eat like crap. And so when we go to other countries, we stick out like sore thumbs because we're not as active, we're not able to keep up. And so being in Amsterdam, where everyone's basically on bikes because of the way that the laws are here, that certain areas of the city you can't go and you can't drive through. It's either by foot or by bike. And so these people are super active, and they are all relatively healthy. We see older people on bikes, and you know, I think that we really should take note of that, you know, some of these countries like the Netherlands, it's like one of the best places to live, And not only is it beautiful, but you know, there's a really like a healthy lifestyle culture that they have here. So, you know, I just was like, man, I want to take off weight even more because I don't want to be one of those, you know, just another one of those, you know, overweight Americans that how big can they get? So I was like really offended by that, but then I was like, well, we kind of did it to ourselves, right? So yeah, but that's a good lesson learned is really it's about function and getting to where you need to go, but it's really like a side effect of the lifestyle is by being super active, walking, biking, whatever. So definitely something I want to bring back home. Okay guys, I don't think I'm coming home after all. I think I found my new home in Holland. We were at this family's farm. We went and we had dinner with them and it was so charming. They already fed us a traditional meal and they also have a dairy farm with over 100 milking cows. And it was so cool. We got to go in and go pet them. They even had a little dog, a little chocolate lab that was here. And everyone's just been so gracious. And they have about 100 acres and they're about to go organic. And they sell their milk and to companies and they make cheese here in Holland. And they're just a little bit, they're about 10 miles outside of Amsterdam. So yeah, I will put a link to the company that makes the cheese that they sell their milk to, and they said in the next couple of months they're gonna have just be fully organic, which will be amazing. I got to pet their cows, and there's a couple in the very background. You'll see a couple of their cows are still out, but yeah, such a great experience. We had a full traditional meal with dessert and tea. We had Dutch apple pie, which was pretty awesome. So anyways, this was a great day, super great day, and yeah, I might be moving here. It's so awesome. Just, I don't know. It's country living and I love it. And I don't know. This might be my new home out here. Okay, good morning. It is 7 a.m. on Monday and we are getting ready to head out to Luxembourg. And we hear it's going to be a long drive today, so we had to be up, have breakfast at 6:30, and now we're just waiting for luggage to be put in the car. So I'm excited because it's a new city. I think 3 days in Amsterdam is well worth it, but I think that's pretty much the limit to what we can do. So I think it's good timing for us to move on and do something different. So yeah, it'll be exciting. We have a couple cool excursions, and then we have one excursion that will be coming up where we actually get to go to Germany. So that was a bonus country that I wasn't expecting to be able to go to. So that's awesome. And yeah, and then while we're on the road, of course, I am going to continue to be editing. I'm still technically working, so because the job isn't in here, so I'm just continuing to edit and do all that great stuff. So looking forward to sharing my trip with you guys. Just made a pilgrimage to Our Lady. That was amazing. So spiritually moving. And I'm just a little, I had more time to explore the church. We finally got to Belgium and we stopped by the war memorial that they have for all the American troops that died while fighting in the war. And so yeah, we're just here. We'll be stopped here for about I think about an hour, but it's massive. I really didn't have a preconceived notion of what this memorial looked like, but it's really massive. It has all the states and all the different army units and first units that participated in helping to liberate Belgium. To think that they're like a terrible, terrible war here, I can't even imagine, because it's so quiet and so peaceful here. The cows are in the background, just lying out, and it's nuts. Guys, what's up? I am in Luxembourg at the DoubleTree. We just got in probably about 2 hours ago, and we've been driving all day, hit a couple of spots, and finished up at Oroville Abbey, which was a bonus for me because unexpectedly we were going to go to a monastery, an abbey. So that was just right up my alley, so that was cool. Unfortunately, we didn't get to try their beer. I will do a recap about this trip once I get home. But I have a couple of things that I want to share about the trip that were really awesome, and a couple things that I think our tour company can to make our experience much better. And a couple of tips for you on how to travel, especially if you're traveling for your first time in Europe. I can tell you all the hits and misses about the trip. Yeah, we're here in Luxembourg. It's completely modern. It's completely different than Amsterdam. Amsterdam was so charming. I freaking love Amsterdam. I could totally live there. Yeah, everything about the Netherlands is really charming. Belgium is beautiful. I had no idea that there was, woods. I don't know, maybe I saw some in some World War II movies, but you never know if that's accurate. But anyways, but it's beautiful. They have so much land here and open spaces and little farmhouses. It's insane. Belgium, driving through, it's amazing. It's beautiful. It's country and animals and the hillsides and woods. It's insane. Never would have imagined this is what it would look like. So right now we're in Luxembourg. We'll be here for 2 days, and then we will be moving on to Brussels, and then that's where we're going to finish up our tour. So we have a couple of things coming up. We're going to be going, I don't know if it's tomorrow or the day after, but we're going to actually be going to Germany. And so this is kind of like a redemption trip. I might get into the details of one of my trips to Europe that completely fell through, and it's a whole story. But anyways, so yeah, so I'm going to be here editing video. I'm actually going to do a part 2 to this Europe video because I got so much great footage. I want to make sure that I can wrap it up within 25 to 30 minutes, and then also give you the gist of everything. So today is day 5, and we have 5 more days to go. So then I'll do part 2, which will be the final 5 days of my trip, and then I'll do another video about my wrap up of all of my thoughts and tips for you guys. The Abbey was great. There's a little myth that they had about throwing maybe €1 into a €1 coin into this well, and it's supposed to bring you good luck to help you find your meat. So they said within a year. So we're gonna see if that happens, but I did it. Next thing is that I got in today about 8,500 steps, and I just happened to be sitting on a couch in the lobby, and I noticed that my right foot's swollen, like my ankles. So I'm not down with that. I don't know what's going on, but I definitely know I need to drink a whole lot more water. That's one. In certain areas like Amsterdam, they're really good. They have in the hotels where you can refill your water bottle, and at the airports, But then you might get into some other countries that they don't really have that. They're just like, use the tap out of your sink, it's just as good. That's an issue. And yeah, I am staying in one room with my aunt and uncle, and so it's like a big sleepover. And so I'm actually downstairs in the business meeting space. Tried to work in a lobby, but it was so loud, so loud. I mean, this is like a predominantly French-speaking country, part of the country. So the French just have a whole nother energy when they speak. So it was very loud outside. So I was like, can I come in here and just work? And she was like, yeah, you can work in here all night. And I was like, perfect. We actually got a little bit of a break from the crazy day. Early morning rise, like we were out by 7:30 today, but tomorrow we get to sleep in. We'll be heading out at 8:45. And then I think tomorrow possibly is my redemption trip. I'll get back to you on that. Okay, so I have to tell you about like my beautiful experience in Masschritt at the of Our Lady. It was absolutely beautiful. It's this really old, I don't even know if it's like Gothic, very dark, like medieval church. And it was so beautiful. I lit some candles, and I got a couple of clips. The lighting wasn't really great, but it's like there's nothing that can compare to being in that church. It was beautiful with, you know, the cobblestone as you're coming into the church, and then you're greeted by a statue of Our Lady, Star of the Sea, and then there's prayers in all these different languages, and then you come actually into the church, and you're able to walk around, and there's, you know, beautiful sculptures on the walls and statues of the saints. There's one of Saint Anthony of Padua, and there's just like the stained glass windows. And then I went to where the Blessed Sacrament, visited Our Lord in the Blessed Sacrament, and I said some prayers, and I have a couple of shots of that, but it does not do it justice of how beautiful that church was, and I wish I had more time. That was just, I basically had to go through there in like 20 minutes, and then I had to get back on the bus, which was a little disappointing, but that's the one place that I wanted on my list, was to make a little pilgrimage, was to be able to go to that church. And then there's another cathedral in that area. There's actually 3 churches. One was St. John's. Oh, it was a beautiful experience. Little did I know today was going to be a very spiritual day. I mean, we ended up in an abbey with, you know, monks that live and work there, and, you know, went into fine detail about like their life. And so I was totally into that tour. And then, you know, I got to visit the other churches. St. John's wasn't open, and I'm excited about you guys seeing this video, and I hope you like this video so far. Stay tuned for episode 2 of my trip to Europe and my experience, and then I'll do a follow-up, which will be a huge wrap-up about some of the highlights and the hits and misses and all that stuff. And, you know, I really think that I might be doing more of these trips. I really like Europe a lot, and my next one, I would love to go to Switzerland, but I also really want to go to Iceland and Norway. I think that would be really cool. But anyways, I gotta work and make some money. So anyways, so if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'll see you in the next video.